Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're diving straight into a topic that, honestly, feels like it was pulled right out of a sci-fi movie. But it's actually fundamentally changing what it means to show up online right now. We're talking about creating an AI twin to scale your digital presence. I mean, think about it. For the first time in history, just ordinary people can create flawless digital versions of themselves to communicate, to present, and to represent their brand. Let's get right into exactly how this works. But before we jump into all the nitty-gritty details, I want you to ask yourself a question. What would it actually mean for you if an exact replica of yourself could just work tirelessly on your behalf? Imagine waking up one morning and realizing, hey, I don't physically have to show up to deliver this presentation or market my business today because my digital twin is already out there doing all the heavy lifting. AI isn't just some futuristic concept anymore. It's really becoming a highly practical, totally functional extension of yourself. So here's how we're going to unpack all of this today. First, we'll look at the AI twin experience. Then we'll talk about AI as the ultimate leverage. After that, we'll cover escaping credit anxiety, and finally, building digital ecosystems.
All right, let's start with part one, the AI twin experience.
So when the creator from our source material actually tested this out by making an AI avatar using just a recent photo and a voice clone, the result was, frankly, incredibly jarring. They talked about this intense psychological impact of just waking up, hitting play, and hearing their own cloned voice delivering a script that they knew for a fact they never actually recorded. It's wild, right? It really forces us to confront some deep questions about identity, especially as the line between reality and a digital clone just keeps blurring faster than any of us ever anticipated. And what makes this whole thing so mind-bending are the granular, hyper-realistic details. Like looking closely at this AI twin, you could literally see the reflection of a real-world ring light accurately bouncing off the lenses of the avatar's glasses as it moved. I mean, no way, right? And it gets even crazier. The creator naturally has a small gap in their teeth, but the AI, it just went ahead and generated this absolutely flawless smile. Instant virtual cosmetic dentistry. It's exactly this kind of microscopic detail and uncanny physical alignment that makes this tech an absolute game changer. But here's the really crucial point. AI isn't just a mirror, it's an enhancer. The real creator described their natural on-camera style as, very relaxed, calm, cool, and collected. But the AI avatar they generated, it was dead serious. It leaned aggressively into the camera and delivered the message with this intense passion. So what does this all mean? It means AI actually allows you to become an actor or a performer, deploying totally different presentation styles without changing who you actually are as an everyday person. It completely unlocks sides of your personality that you might not naturally display. Okay, moving on to part two, AI as ultimate leverage. Now, historically, if you wanted to scale up, you used money, right? You invested capital to work for you. Then we moved over to organizational leverage, relying on human networks, hiring teams and recruiting employees to do the heavy lifting. But now, AI introduces an entirely new category, self-leverage. You can quite literally duplicate yourself to multiply your content output, completely expand your reach, and have multiple representatives of yourself working simultaneously. It's huge. And this translates into a massive, massive business advantage. Businesses are actively embracing AI right now precisely because predictable digital agents solve that age-old problem of human unpredictability. Let's face it, human beings are inherently inconsistent. We miss deadlines, we lose motivation, we get tired. It happens. But an AI agent, it gives you predictable 100% effort every single time. It never tires, and it literally never sleeps. Businesses aren't replacing people because they dislike people. They're just replacing inconsistency with absolute consistency. So the big takeaway here is that instead of relying on a sort of fragile network of fallible people, you can just leverage AI versions of yourself. You could easily set up 10 AI avatars to execute specific high-level tasks consistently, day in and day out. Essentially, one solo creator can now operate with the appearance, the volume, and the efficiency of an entire corporate team. All right, let's look at part three, escaping credit anxiety. Now, creating this amazing digital workforce does face a pretty massive software roadblock right now. Picture this. You log into a brand new AI platform that advertises a free trial. Awesome. They graciously hand over 10 free tokens. But the very second you click generate for just one single video, a prompt pops up demanding 1,980 tokens to proceed. It's just a manipulative illusion designed to give you this false sense of access only to hit you with massive sticker shock right after. That 1980 token model creates what we like to call credit anxiety. When a platform forces you to pay, say, $25 for a single AI generation, you become completely paralyzed by expensive perfectionism. Suddenly, every single creative mistake costs you real money. On the flip side, unlimited creation models with a one-time investment offer totally boundless testing. Because let's be real, creativity truly thrives when you have the absolute freedom to experiment, to play around, and to fail freely without that constant fear of running out of credits. Which brings us perfectly to part 4, building digital ecosystems. Once you eliminate that credit anxiety, the whole workflow becomes just incredibly seamless. First, you start by using a dedicated app to generate a highly detailed character prompt. Next up, you plug that prompt into an image generator to create a brand new photorealistic digital character, like in this specific example, an avatar named Finian O'Sulliday. And finally, you just save that specific character so Finian can be instantly deployed into full cinematic storytelling videos. Boom, you go from a simple text prompt to a complete content production pipeline in literally minutes.
And that brings us to the whole concept of the digital frontline. See, you aren't just limited to an avatar of yourself. One solo creator can now forge an entire unlimited cast of AI personalities. You can tailor their clothing, their environments, even give them totally unique backstories. You can assign them specific scripts to act as your dedicated marketers, your brand mascots, or your flawless customer service reps. It's like you are literally casting and directing your very own digital company.
So, as we wrap up, remember, AI is no longer some far-off, futuristic concept. It's a highly practical, completely accessible extension of yourself. It solves the problem of human inconsistency, and it completely shatters the limits of traditional business scaling. The technology exists right now for you to duplicate yourself, remove that credit anxiety, and build an entire dedicated digital team entirely at your command. So the only question left is, when AI allows you to duplicate yourself like this, what are you going to create with all that newfound freedom? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to see how you leverage this incredible technology. Catch you next time.
Freedom ain't the weekend. It's a mindset. It's that moment you realize your time is the real currency. We don't clock out. We cash in on purpose. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Monday start with vision, Friday end with proof. I ain't built no luck, I built the truth. 17 weeks, no breaks, no flinch. Consistency, my cloth, can't tear an inch. The grind feels sacred when you know your lane. Turn struggle to syllabus, pressure to gain. I used to chase weekends, now I own my days. Design my time, redefine pay. Boss of my rhythm, freedom in sight. Every scroll I wrote got another so right. They talk hustle, but they miss the plan. Work for peace, that's the real demand. From the live to the link to the legacy taught. I ain't sold out, I sold thoughts that bought. Every small trickle now flows like rain. Freedom Friday, I broke those chains.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong all we rise.
I earn my rest cause I earn my grind. Peace ain't cheap when you bought your time. Every no I heard was a lesson taught. Every delay was a seed I bought. From comment credits to crowns of faith. Freedom Friday ain't a date, it's a state. Made discipline sexy, consistency cool. I ain't follow they trend, I rewrote the rule. Hustle berry sing the souls back home. While I talk numbers on a microphone. Edutainment the vibe, we built this bridge. Music meet money on the same bridge. Friday ain't weak, it's strong by design. Freedom the fruit of a disciplined mind. Celebrate now, we ain't done by far. We ain't chasing weekends, we chasing stars.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong all week now.
They say the grind mind don't sleep, I let piecework shift. I ain't burnt out, I refine my gift. Scroll after scroll, turn story to seed. Now faith pay interest on everything I lead. I ain't waiting on Friday to feel alive. Every day now got that freedom vibe. No clock in, no boss tone calling. Self-made CEO of my morning. Used to measure worth by the payday sums. Now I measure peace by how calm I become. From dark weeks to bright ends we grow. Freedom ain't luck, it's what we know. Built my legacy off discipline, say. Now every Friday feels like heaven's pay. Hustle, bear, let it bury, harmonize. Freedom Friday, we monetize the rise.
It's Freedom Friday. We made it through the grind. Oh yeah. Time to free your peace of mind. Strong all week now. Watch us fly. It's Freedom Friday. We built this up. Oh, we built this life. We built this life.
Brands are paying $500 to $2,000 per UGC video. You're still scrolling past the opportunity. Most creators sit on real talent and never see a dollar from it, not because they lack skill, but because nobody handed them the blueprint. They record, they post, they hope, and the brand deals keep going to the same small circle who figured out the system. That changes right now. The Hustleverse Movie Studio UGC Blueprint walks you through exactly how to position yourself, pitch brands, and produce content that commands professional rates, starting with the AI tools you already have access to today. Creators inside this community are landing deals, building portfolios, and stacking income streams that work while they sleep. For a limited time, grab the full blueprint free valued at $97. Drop blueprint in the comments and I'll send it straight to you.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is strong 56, day 5, and we are right at 14 minutes into today's challenge. So let's get to it. Now, today is no different than any other day. I'm excited. I'm excited as usual. But I feel an extra sense of excitement because I pulled up one of my favorite tools. And that favorite tool of mine, you guys already know what it is. It's simply the new tab section. See, I like researching. I like looking at information. I like finding out what's new and exciting and what's going on in the world. And as I pulled open the new tab, you know, I saw an article. It popped up right away. Now, in anticipation that it might have refreshed on me and that, it might have disappeared, I already opened up the article. But let me just see. It doesn't look like it refreshed. So let me scroll through and let's set the stage for what it was that I actually saw. Because, okay, there's the goat right there. I didn't see this right here, but that right there is definitely something that everybody needs to recognize. So it says top 10 most gangster rappers of all time ranked. Okay, that's a strong title right there. But what I would actually change that to when you put a picture of Tupac on there is the greatest artist, the greatest rapper of all time, right there, Tupac. One of the greatest, not only rappers or artists, but one of the greatest leaders of all time. And he's part of the inspiration, one of the main inspirations for the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge. As you guys might know, we started this challenge over a year ago on the birthday of the greatest rapper of all time, Mr. Tupac Shakur. So let's take some time to reflect on that. I wasn't expecting to see this picture, but it's definitely something that we need to take a moment to reflect on. But let's keep going because hopefully that same article that I was looking at is still listed here. And you know something? I didn't see this right here, but that's that's fitting. It's fitting to see Will Smith, right? You know, it's like in life, there's people that are, you know, eternally linked to another person. Now, it just popped up in my mind. For example, when you think of 50 Cent, you think of Ja Rule possibly. And we just looked at a picture of the greatest of all time, Tupac. And when you think about him, you think about a few people on a short list. One of the main people you think about is Jada, Jada Pinkett Smith, right? And you also think about Will Smith because when it comes to Will Smith, Tupac has been that 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 thing that haunts his life. Now, not maybe not him personally. He probably doesn't wake up and every day he dreams and have nightmares about Tupac, but Tupac is one of those people that is forever tied to Will Smith, and it's simply because of his relationship with Will Smith's wife. They were the best of friends growing up, and it's something that his passing, even 30 years later, is something that Will Smith's wife still can't get over. And you know, there's so many stories related to that. It seems that you know it'll never let Will Smith rest knowing that his wife had so much love for Tupac. But that's not the story right there either. But just like I said before in a previous live, it's always a case where you'll see one person and then you'll see somebody else related to or tied to them. And of course, if we scroll back a sec, they had to throw Drake up in there, right? Because, you know, Drake is not related to any of either of those two, but of course, he wants to be remembered as one of the best to ever do it, right? So it's kind of fitting that you would see an article about Drake in there. And we know who he's strongly tied to and who he might forever be tied to, which is Kendrick Lamar, right? With their brief moment in time in history. I don't think that we'll see a picture of Kendrick pop up on here, but I won't be surprised that maybe in the next couple of days we will see a story and it'll be featured and have the face of Kendrick Lamar on that. But let's keep going. So here it is. It says OpenAI unveils long awaited super app as rival with Anthropic intensifies. As rivalry with Anthropic intensifies, right? So I opened up that article and I just want to do this brief takeaway and just to mention this right here because I'm excited. I'm excited because there's some things that I want to accomplish, some things that I've been creating and working on. And this right here might be something that helps me make those things that much better. And going forward, I'm going to tell you about those also, those things. And more than likely, I'm going to share it in the Hustleverse, movie studio mindset private group. So it says here key takeaways: AI productivity tool, ChatGPT Work combines OpenAI's chatbot with Codex, enabling users to create documents, presentations, and websites without coding expertise. Very, very valuable. Now, in your online business, your sole job isn't to just share a link. Yes, yes, it can be that easy, because when you share, or if you are an affiliate for a company that provides you with the link, it's a link to a website. It's already pre-built for you. Everybody's site is generally the same. You just have a replicated website, just like the tens of thousands of other affiliates, potentially for that particular product or service. So everybody gets that same link. But the people that step outside of the box and that are the most successful are the ones that go above and beyond. They will create something other than that generic duplicated website. They'll create things like landing pages, various other websites that will take people through a deeper funnel system just to make themselves stand out from the crowd. So, if this right here is going to help you make websites, it might be something that you might be interested in when it comes to checking out ChatGPT Work, as it says, right? Then we have advanced AI model, powered by GPT 5.6, offering faster, cheaper, and highly capable AI solutions across industries, with 3 model sizes for cost-effective performance. Okay, so that right there is very helpful, because we know that with these AI models, they all use, you know, credits or whatever they want to call it. And these credits and these things, they run out pretty fast depending on what you're doing. And if you're trying to build something that's simply for yourself, you might be fine. You might be okay. You might be able to make it throughout the month until those credits or whatever the limits is, until they refresh. But if you're building something that's designed to help a team of people, like for example, an app, and that requires credits, and you're building something for multiple people, that means multiple people are draining the same credit source, the same credit bucket, right? If you have them under your particular account. So making things more cost effective and maintaining performance, or even enhancing performance of these particular AI models, that's going to be very powerful. And hopefully as time goes on, these things are going to start coming down in price. The cost of running these models hopefully will start coming down dramatically. And what that means is that you'll have the ability to use it a lot more and be able to build more team-based applications around it. So keep that in mind. So now we have enterprise competition, direct rival to Anthropic's Claude Cowork, targeting professional users and businesses, emphasizing accessibility and affordability over competitors. All right. See, the one thing that I pay attention to, and I had to laugh about it earlier today, is that the news will make you feel as though there's only a handful of competitors out there. If you think about in the AI world, we know that there's hundreds of AI apps, hundreds of AI tools, but the news will make you think that there's only really 2. There's OpenAI and there's Anthropic. Sometimes they'll throw in Gemini. You hear about Gemini on occasion, but for the most part, you only hear about those 2. So these, as it says, direct rival. So it says it listed as direct rival, like no other product or service is a direct rival to these particular AI tools. So I hear a lot about Anthropic's Claude Cowork. Me personally, I haven't used it. I've used Claude, just the regular before. I've used ChatGPT, of course, on a daily basis. That's my daily driver. I've used Codex also, and I've worked with that just a little bit, just to see what it's working with. And of course, with this new information, I'm gonna start looking into it a lot more because there's other things that I actually use in order to help me create and build tools for myself. And I want to make sure that I'm diversifying what I have and making sure that not that I'm focusing more on just one thing, but I'm using them all in collaboration to make one thing better. So if I can feed my information into ChatGPT and it knows about me, it knows about the Hustleverse, it knows everything that we're doing here, and I use that as a basis to create something that knows, all of the foundational things about me and what we do, then I can also plug it into other systems, other tools to have it evaluate what ChatGPT did, what it, what it created, and then have those other tools, let's say, for example, a Claude, have it examine the ChatGPT's work and find flaws in it, find where it can actually make improvements, and then, you know, use that information to make a better product and keep reiterating. It's kind of like what you do with real people and real teams in a real business. You have your open forums, you have your research and development team, right? This is very powerful. This is one of those things that you need to really focus on and take away. These tools are saving you time, energy, and money. And they're saving you from having to, you know, hire large staffs to take care of, various aspects of business. For example, like I said, research and development department. You might have a team of people that you would have to employ that test this product, then retest it, then send it off to someone else and have them test it to the point where, you want to try to break whatever it is that you've created. You want to push it to its limit and you want to keep revising it and making it better. But now, with competition, with various tools that are competing to be better than the other, you have the ability to create something and basically have your own research and development team. Hand it off to one member of the team, ChatGPT, let it do its thing, and then you say, hey, I'm gonna pass it off to the other team, Claude, for example, and let them do their thing. And now bring everything together and make sure that you have the best possible product around. So this right here is very valuable. And I hope you guys decide that you want to look into AI a lot more. Look into these different models, different companies. Don't just stay stuck looking at one particular model in one particular company. Make sure that you're open to diversifying because that's where you're going to find the best solutions for what you actually need to get done. Now, today, once again, it's Freedom Friday. I thought about what I wanted to do, and I know last week or the week before, I wanted to start a new kind of trend for Fridays. I wanted to, you know, involve my business partners a lot more. I wanted to involve my leverage system, as it said in that beginning training, my AI twin, or in this case, my AI twins, wanted to be able to involve them a lot more on a weekly basis, right? And I mentioned it last Friday when I said, hey, one of the main benefits of having an online business and learning about this technology and using AI is that it helps you become more productive. It helps you build more profitable businesses. And it also helps you regain back your time, buy back your time freedom. So this is what I wanted to do for you guys. I want to actually leverage my AI twins so I can buy back some of my time freedom for today's live. So we have a specific training that my business partners, my AI twins, they're going to give to us. And it's going to allow me to buy back 21 minutes of my time where I get to enjoy them training and coaching. And of course, as usual, it's based off of what I've taught my team, my business partners. We've been in a, let's say, a research and development type session where they've learned more about me, and they're going to take the information and they're going to hand it off to each other. They're going to deep dive, as we call it, and be able to break down the information that I provided to it so that they can reframe it and position it in a way that you might be able to better understand and be able to use it to your benefit. So this one right here, this one is called Stop Stop Being an AI Seat Filler. So stop being an AI seat filler. Very powerful. You don't want to be an AI seat filler. You want to be a partner with the AI. You want to be able to collaborate, and you want to be able to add that soul that's needed to everything that you do when it comes to using AI. So with that, we're going to pass it off to my AI twins, let them educate us as a whole. And on the other side, you know, we're going to close out. But I appreciate you guys joining me today on today's live. And I want to also invite you to comment hustle if you want to be a part of the Hustleverse fully. If you want to learn all of the valuable information that we have to share with you guys, if you want to join me in the private group, the Hustleverse Movie Studio Mindset private group, where we'll be diving more into AI. Right now, focusing heavily on AI UGC content creation, because what I found is that a lot of people, they want to build businesses online, but they don't want to show their face. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who are creating content using AI, but they're not specifically using what we would consider to be UGC AI avatars, where they're telling the story for them, where they're actually speaking and promoting and selling a product. A lot of people are just using AI to write up scripts or make nice pictures, and that's it. But we need to go deeper. We need to be able to have a communication, and an AI UGC influencer is one of the best ways that you can do that. So comment UGC if you want access to that exclusive private group. And also, just to get started within the Hustleverse, the most valuable document in all of online marketing, the link is in the description of this video. All you have to do to get started is grab your mega link so that you can get the foundational tools that you need and be able to be in the best position to be successful. And I'm gonna leave you guys with this one other last thing that I wanted to say. It kind of woke me up this morning, and I had it on my mind. I thought about doing a little short video clip, but then I said no. Let me just tell it to you as I'm doing a live. A thought came to my mind, and it just kept popping up while I was asleep, while I was, half dreaming, half waking up. This is for those people that are looking to be successful. If you chase success, chasing it, success is something that has like a rocket ship attached to it. If you're chasing it, you can't chase it wearing somebody else's shoes. because you'll never be able to chase something in shoes that has a rocket ship attached to it. But what you need to do is align yourself with your passion. Align yourself with what you're great at, what you're good at, what you have a passion for, what you love. Because having a passion for something is like having a magnet attached to you. And when you have a strong enough magnet attached to you, then it makes it easier for you to attract success. Yeah, even though success might have that rocket launcher strapped to its back, if you have a strong enough magnet, it'll still be able to pull that success towards you. It won't be able to take off. It won't be able to run from you. It'll be drawn towards you if you live your life full of passion and doing the things that you're most passionate about and replacing it, taking off those shoes that's only made for somebody else. So stop living somebody else's dream and stop building somebody else's business. Build your own business, live with passion so that you can attract success. So now we're going to get into that training. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next live.
Picture this, right? You're green lighting a feature-length comedy drama.
Okay.
But you aren't booking flights for a film crew. You're not, arguing with agents over back-end points or whatever.
Right, no logistics.
Exactly. You aren't even building a physical set. You are essentially generating an entire, cinematic universe straight from your desktop.
Wow.
Yeah. And your lead actor, they require 0 sleep, 0 catering, and $0 in salary.
I mean, that sounds like a hyper-efficient utopia if you're a studio executive.
It really does. But listen, if you talk to the traditional Hollywood establishment, they look at this exact scenario and see an existential nightmare.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's the ultimate collision between legacy systems and this ruthless, just unprecedented efficiency.
Oh, totally.
The anxiety radiating from the creative class right now is, well, it's palpable. And frankly, completely understandable if you view yourself strictly as a performer.
Which brings us to why we're here. Welcome to today's deep dive. It is July 8, 2026. And if you are listening to us right now, you're probably actively trying to cut through that exact anxiety.
Right. You're looking for clarity.
Exactly. You want to understand what the future of work actually looks like beyond the terrifying headlines and figure out how to, position yourself so you aren't the one left behind.
And we are dissecting some incredibly raw source material today to help you do just that. We're looking at a recent, entirely unfiltered broadcast from an online entrepreneur named Markel.
That's pronounced markel, by the way.
Yes, Markel. This is day 56 of his Hustler's 10-minute-a-day challenge. And I gotta say, he isn't really interested in making anyone feel comfortable.
Not at all.
He is delivering a highly specific, very blunt reality check about the actual mechanics of modern success.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because Markel's central thesis is a sharp left turn from the standard internet advice you see everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
The prevailing internet wisdom tells you that if you just scour the web for the right free tutorials, the gates of wealth will just magically swing open.
Right, the whole hustle for free mindset.
Yeah, and Markel flat out rejects this. His argument is that in the age of AI, you have to stop acting like a passive consumer waiting for a handout. You've got to start acting like an owner who is, willing to bleed a little bit.
To actually invest.
Yes. And he grounds this by pointing us straight to the top of the food chain, looking at what the corporate titans are actually doing with their capital right now.
He operates on a very simple premise, which is success leaves clues.
I like that.
And the interesting thing is, he doesn't use insider reports or secret documents to find these clues. He literally just, opens a new browser tab and looks at the public headlines of the day.
Just right out there in the open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the very first clue he highlights is Microsoft. They are spending $2.5 billion. And Markel, practically shouts to emphasize the BN in billion.
Not million, billion.
Right. $2.5 billion deploying AI engineers directly to their customers.
And we really need to pause on that because of what it signifies, right? Microsoft isn't just releasing a product. They are spending astronomical amounts of money to build the infrastructure that allows other companies to even use their product.
Yes. They are laying the railroad tracks.
Exactly.
If you're trying to predict the future, you watch the movement of heavy capital. The companies dictating the next decade, they're not playing defense. They are making massive proactive investments.
Right.
Now, Markel contrasts this Microsoft strategy with a second seemingly contradictory headline. He pulls up an article detailing how AI giants are handing out massive amounts of quote-unquote free computing power to tech startups.
And this is where I think the average person gets completely tripped up.
Oh, for sure.
Because the average consumer sees the word free and thinks, like, the tech world has suddenly become a charity. They think, oh, amazing, the barriers to entry are totally gone.
It is a fundamental misreading of the economic landscape. Markel breaks down the actual mechanism behind that free compute power.
Because it's not actually free, is it?
Not even a little. Those AI companies are hemorrhaging cash to provide that processing time. They are absorbing a staggering financial loss up front.
Wow. Why would they do that?
Because it is a customer acquisition strategy. It's really no different than a high-end casino comping a lavish penthouse suite for a high roller.
Okay, right.
The room is free to the guests, sure, but the casino paid to build it, staff it, and maintain it, fully expecting to make that money back tenfold on the casino floor.
So the compute power is the comped room. The AI giants are basically buying future loyalty, making these startups entirely dependent on their specific ecosystem.
Exactly. Someone somewhere is always footing the bill. And Markel uses this to pivot directly to his audience.
Right.
He notes that he constantly sees people joining his private business groups, hoping they won't have to, buy a domain name or invest in a software tool or spend a single dime of their own money.
Which is crazy when you're trying to build a business.
He calls them seat fillers.
Seat fillers. Ouch.
Yeah. People who want the spoils of a multi-billion-dollar economic shift without actually putting a single chip on the table.
I have to challenge this slightly, though, because, looking at this objectively, Markel points to Microsoft spending $2.5 billion. And then he looks at a guy trying to start a side hustle from his kitchen table and tells him to act the exact same way.
Right. The scale is vastly different.
The scale is absurdly different. It sounds like Markel is saying if you want to swim with the sharks, you can't be mad that the water is wet. But does this mean you have to have $1 billion to succeed? If someone doesn't have capital to deploy, are they just permanently locked out of this new economy?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, what's fascinating here is that Markel isn't demanding parity in cash. He is demanding parity in mindset.
Okay. Mindset.
Yes. The investment currency doesn't have to be liquid capital. It can be time. It can be undivided focus. It can be the willingness to, fail publicly and try again.
Oh, I see.
A consumer approaches a new AI tool and asks, how can this entertain me for free? An owner approaches that exact same tool and asks, how many hours of focused frustration will it take for me to master this so I can monetize it?
That is such a distinct shift.
Markel is targeting the psychological expectation of a frictionless ride. If you expect the universe to hand you a finished, profitable business just because you logged on, you are a seat filler.
Which brings us to the real psychological meat of today's deep dive.
Yeah.
Saying you want to be an owner is easy, right?
Sure, everyone wants to be the boss.
Exactly. But Markel shares a story from 22 years ago that brilliantly isolates the exact moment you transition from a protected consumer to an exposed owner.
I guess.
And it has absolutely nothing to do with technology. It has to do with commercial cleaning supplies.
The bleach story. It is a phenomenal dissection of accountability.
So let's go back 22 years. Markel buys a commercial cleaning franchise, and he hires his own cousin as an employee.
Which is always a risk, hiring family.
Right. So Markel gives his cousin one incredibly clear, just non-negotiable instruction regarding a specific office building. He says, under no circumstances are you to use bleach because the building is entirely carpeted.
Makes perfect sense. A standard operational directive.
But the cousin runs out of his standard cleaning chemicals, and instead of taking the time to, restock properly, he just ignores the rule.
Oh, no.
He grabs a bucket of bleach, heads into the building, and the handle of the bucket snaps.
Of course it does.
The bleach goes everywhere. It completely ruins a large section of the carpet. The building owner is furious, obviously, and Markel has to pay $500 out of his own pocket to replace the specific carpet tiles.
A very painful operational loss, especially back then.
Yeah. But the financial hit isn't even the core of the lesson here.
No, the real lesson comes from the aftermath.
Right. So Markel goes to his aunt, the mother of the cousin who spilled the bleach, to explain what happened and why he is so upset. And her response to him is just chilling in its detachment.
What does she say?
She looks at him and says, "Well, you're the business owner. You should be responsible for that."
Wow. That response is the hinge point of Markel's entire philosophy.
It is maddening. I mean, imagine lending your car to a friend, explicitly telling them the brakes are a little touchy. They ignore you, decide to street race, wrap the car around a telephone pole, and then their family tells you, well, your name is on the title, you should pay for the damage. It defies basic human fairness.
It definitely defies interpersonal fairness, yes.
Yeah.
But we have to look at the sociology of what happens when you incorporate.
What do you mean?
Well, when you declare yourself the owner, society fundamentally rewrites its contract with you. You undergo a metamorphosis in the eyes of the public.
Okay, I'm following.
You cease to be Cousin Markel, right? A vulnerable human being deserving of familial empathy. You become an entity.
An entity?
Yes. And the primary function of a commercial entity, at least in the eyes of the consumer class, is to absorb risk.
Oh, wow. So you become the shock absorber for everyone else's incompetence.
That is exactly the burden of leadership. The aunt's reaction wasn't necessarily malicious. It was an unconscious recognition of the corporate veil.
Right, right.
To her, the cousin was just a guy who made a mistake at work. Markel, however, was the structural safety net that was supposed to anticipate and catch that mistake.
And Markel is sharing this story because he needs his listeners to understand that building an online business isn't just about, like, collecting passive income on a beach.
Not at all. It is about voluntarily walking into the line of fire and accepting ultimate accountability for things you didn't even do.
Yeah. You cannot reap the outsized rewards of an owner if you still expect the emotional coddling of an employee.
It's perfectly said.
I used to wait for permission, wait for proof, wait for perfect. But one day I wrote it down. Everything I believed I could build. And that page became my blueprint. The most valuable document I ever owned. Wasn't signed by anybody else. It was signed by me.
I wrote my name in faith, not fear. Built my piece from the paint right here. Didn't need a crowd, just a pen and plan. The most valuable doc came from my own hand.
But accepting that ultimate painful accountability is really only the first hurdle. The real stress test comes when the fundamental rules of the economy change underneath you.
Which is happening right now.
Right. You can accept responsibility for a human employee spilling bleach. But what happens when the employee isn't even human? This takes us right back to that movie studio scenario we opened with. Markel introduces a case study that is actively breaking the traditional entertainment industry.
He brings up the controversy surrounding Tilly Norwood.
Yes. Let's look at the facts of this case. Tilly Norwood is not a human being. She is a fully virtual, AI-generated actor created by a British production company called Particle 6.
Right.
And she isn't just a background extra. She is slated to star in a feature-length comedy drama called Misaligned.
And naturally, we're seeing severe pushback from the establishment.
Oh, huge pushback.
Actors like Melissa Barrera are publicly condemning this. They're framing it as an ethical violation of artistic representation. And we should be clear, we aren't taking sides on the ethics of the Hollywood strikes here. We're just reporting the landscape.
Absolutely. We're just looking at the source material.
Yeah.
Markel completely ignores the emotional debate to look at the cold structural economics.
The math.
Right. Why is Particle 6 doing this? Because an AI actor doesn't demand a multi-million-dollar salary. Tilly Norwood doesn't have a public relations crisis. She doesn't hold up production because she's sick. And she doesn't require an entire logistical apparatus of, trailers and catering.
Markel points out that this technology theoretically allows you to produce a film in a single month at roughly 1% of the historical cost.
1%.
It completely democratizes high-end production capability while simultaneously detonating the traditional labor model.
I have to stop you there, though, because here's where it gets really interesting. I'm looking at this and it feels incredibly contradictory.
So?
Well, we just spent all this time unpacking Markel's demand that we invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
He is telling his audience to build their skills, put in the daily effort, act like owners. But then he uses Tilly Norwood as his prime example of the future. He is highlighting a literal machine designed to zero out human employment. So, shouldn't we be terrified? Where is the return on human investment if the AI just replaces you anyway? Shouldn't the listener actually agree with the angry Hollywood actors?
That is the most common pitfall when analyzing AI, and Markel provides the critical synthesis to get past it.
Okay, hit me with it.
He doesn't just read the headline. He reads the specific operational details of Particle 6. Yes, they have eliminated the traditional acting roles, but the article explicitly notes that Particle 6 is still actively hiring humans.
Wait, they are?
Yes. They are hiring directors, they are hiring writers, and they are hiring editors.
Oh, so the human isn't removed from the equation, their physical location in the hierarchy just moved.
Exactly. AI is not destroying human value. It is migrating it. The value has shifted completely away from the performer, the entity executing the technical task, and moves squarely onto the creator.
The entity with the vision.
Precisely. Think about the invention of the synthesizer in music. It didn't destroy the music industry.
Right, people still make music.
It just replaced the need for a 50-piece orchestra to record a demo. And in doing so, it birthed the era of the superproducer.
So the people panicking in Hollywood are the ones who violently refuse to adapt their identity. They view themselves strictly as performers.
Yes. If you are a performer, Tilly Norwood is a threat. If you were a director, Tilly Norwood is just a highly efficient camera lens.
That is a brilliant way to put it. The founders of Particle 6 didn't waste their energy writing angry blog posts about the ethics of AI.
No, they looked at the new physics of the market. They realized they could now own a studio instead of just auditioning for one, and they built a whole business model around that leverage.
They became the owners of the technology rather than the victims of it.
Exactly.
Which begs the ultimate question, right? If the technical execution is fully automated by machines like Tilly, what is the premium on the human being? Like, if I am sitting in the director's chair telling Tilly Norwood what to do, what makes my direction any better than yours?
Markel isolates this down to a single, somewhat abstract concept.
Yeah.
He says the differentiator is soul.
Soul. It sounds almost unscientific, doesn't it?
It does, but it is actually the defining metric of the new economy. AI has a massive cognitive database. It has a brain. What it fundamentally lacks is the friction of lived experience.
Yeah.
It has no soul.
And he illustrates this with music, which I thought was fascinating. Markel claims that 99.9% of AI-generated music is, to use his word, glitchy trash.
Right.
And it's not because the algorithm is broken, it's because the person prompting the AI has nothing interesting to say. But Markel talks about his own AI-generated music project, specifically a track called Internal Driver.
Yes.
He considers this track to be in the top 0.0001% of all music created, not because he knows some, secret line of code, but because he injected his own human struggle into it.
And we really need to explain how that actually works in practice. How do you inject soul into a prompt?
Right, because it sounds like magic.
Well, a consumer goes to an AI music generator and types, make a cool hip-hop beat about success.
You get elevator music.
Exactly. The AI outputs something mathematically correct, but emotionally hollow. Markel, on the other hand, acting as the director, approaches the AI with 22 years of business failures. He approaches it with the memory of paying $500 for ruined carpet, the stress of payroll, and the triumph of overcoming all of it.
Wow.
He directs the AI to match the pacing of that specific anxiety. He forces the algorithm to reflect the cadence of his actual lived life.
And he explicitly states communication is going to be the key to your success.
Yes.
He points out that he has recorded nearly 300 daily episodes of this Hustlers Challenge. And he isn't doing that just to hear himself talk.
No, he's in the gym.
Right. He is actively practicing the articulation of his thoughts so that he can be a more precise director of the AI. If you can't communicate a complex emotion or a strategic vision to another human, you will never be able to prompt an AI to build something compelling.
You will just be generating noise. The AI is a mirror. If you lack depth, your output will lack depth.
And he emphasizes this by warning his audience about an upcoming live training. His business partner, Wayne Crow, is hosting a 2.0 p.m. Eastern session breaking down a new AI platform.
Yeah.
And Markel's warning is so blunt. He says, do not just show up to look at the software interface. Do not show up expecting a magic button.
Yeah, you have to bring something to the table.
Exactly. If you don't arrive with a fundamental mindset switch, ready to figure out how this tool amplifies your specific vision, you are wasting your time.
He is aggressively filtering his audience. He is telling them to stop operating like lottery ticket buyers, hoping for a random payout, and start operating like architects.
His closing energy is intense. He tells his listeners that if they want to partner with him, and the call to action here is to comment the word hustle, they need to abandon the expectation of a free ride.
Complete
If
it.
they expect him to do the heavy lifting while they sit back, he promises to kick their ass right out of the passenger seat.
So, bringing this all together, what does this mean for our listener today? What's fascinating here is that Markel is begging his audience to stop being the hamster on the wheel, making someone else successful.
Yeah.
Society is engineered to keep you comfortable consuming content and making someone else incredibly wealthy. To break that cycle, you have to look past the emotional noise.
Right, the surface level stuff.
Exactly. When you see actors protesting AI or startups gobbling up free server space, don't just react emotionally. Look for the underlying financial mechanics.
Find the clues.
Right. AI is an unstoppable efficiency engine. Your sole professional duty right now is to figure out how to be the architect directing that engine, rather than the manual laborer competing against it.
It is about upgrading your identity. So let's recap the journey we've been on today. We started by dismantling the fallacy of free, realizing that true giants like Microsoft are investing billions, not looking for shortcuts.
Right.
We learned from the Bleach story that declaring yourself an owner means embracing the brutal, unfair reality of ultimate accountability. You are the entity.
You absorb the risk.
Exactly. And finally, through the lens of Tilly Norwood and AI music, we discovered that the AI revolution isn't about replacing humans. It rewards those who step up as creative directors, communicators, who can inject their lived human experience, their soul, into the machinery.
You cannot buy the cheap seats at the arena and complain that no one is letting you call the plays. You have to get on the floor.
I love that. Markel wants you to be slightly upset with yourself if you've been playing it safe. Use that anger as fuel to take action and recognize real value.
And I want to leave you with a final thought exercise to really test that reality.
Let's hear it.
Imagine you log into work tomorrow, and every single one of your daily technical tasks has been fully automated by your industry's version of a Tilly Norwood.
Scary thought.
It is. The execution is handled. So what are the high-level strategic director skills you could immediately pivot to? What complex problem-solving or empathetic communication do you possess right now that an algorithm fundamentally cannot replicate without your unique human soul?
Wow, that is the ultimate stress test. If the machine takes away the friction of doing the work, what vision are you actually directing it to build? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep asking the big questions, step out of the passenger seat, and start owning the outcome. We'll catch you on the next one.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first, but in silence even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create, etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. Till my PayPal pinged, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create, etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, it's a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud